was just wondering, Pezza, how much Australians love the Olympics. And I was thinking last night to myself, does Australia love the Olympics more than any other country? And then I was thinking immediately, no, literally the USA's interest in the Olympics keeps the thing alive. And I was thinking, well, after what happened yesterday, I just can't imagine a nation being more united by success of athletes whose names we didn't know 45 minutes before. And the euphoria that swept through the country. And I was like, nah, we love the Olympics. And then I wake up this morning to 0 gold medals. And I'm like, it's not as good, is it? What were your reactions to 0 gold medals overnight?
My reaction is that I wonder what the lesson is in it for the nation. I think it's facile to wake up this morning and say, where's me fucking gold? As many have, right? And I know that for a fact because I listen to the speak pipes, every single one.
Yep.
And my mind goes more to what's the lesson? And I think that the book of Genesis provides a good guide for this. Now, you recall in Genesis, the Christian Bible, 3 into 1, etc.
Yes, yeah. The talking snake said this.
The Pharaoh in Genesis has a dream, right? Mm-hmm. Joey there, Joseph's interpreting it. Yeah. Joseph's in prison.
Joey Jojo.
And he interprets the Pharaoh's dream. Yep. And the Pharaoh understands, following Joseph's interpretation, that there'll be 7 years of feast and 7 years of famine.
Yep.
Okay? And my question to Australians this morning, after Paris, is what did you do with your feast yesterday? Did you squander it all? Did you eat it all disgustingly? Or did you save some for today? Did you save some of that feast for the famine that we've been enduring this morning? Now, interesting little tidbit to that, is that that parable is what led to Andrew Lloyd Webber's Joseph and His Technicolor Dreamcoat. And you'll remember the colours of that dreamcoat: red and yellow and green and brown and, ochre and black and peach, etc., which in turn is the colour spectrum of the Olympic rings.
TM.
So once again, this is where the Olympics imitates life. And I think there's a lesson for Australians there. When you win 4 gold, don't squander it all. Don't eat it all at once.
Because now I'm thinking, will we ever see gold again? We might have had our last gold medal. Can we delay any more? Or can we bring some LA games forward into the last couple of days here? Because I gorged. I stuffed myself.
And my tone may suggest that I'm speaking down to people, but I am stuffed after yesterday. I ate it all. I blacked out. I didn't know where it went. I woke up. It's all under the pillow.
Yeah.
And next thing I know, I don't know where it is. And then I'm sick.
Yeah. I've woken up this morning and I'm looking at New Zealand's gold and I'm thinking, can I have some of that, please?
Yeah.
This show is brought to you by Smith Optics. SmithOpticsAustralia.com. Use the code FAST for 25% off your order. More on that later. Should we hear from the people, Pedro?
Let's hear from the people from overnight. Here goes. They had plenty to say about what happened. And once again, this is the mood of the nation.
Where the fuck's the gold?
Dad, wake up. What is it? We won silver. What do you mean? 1 silver? That's an oxymoron. What's an oxymoron? This episode of Blueies is called Oxymoron.
I'm an Australian and I'm not going to stop going on about this ridiculous pillow metaphor. And well, I've checked today and there's no gold. Mommy, hug me. Daddy, I love you.
English.
Yeah. Fuck's sake, pack it up. What are we doing losing to Germans in the drink?
Marathon.
Stingers sting again.
Oh, boys. Up the stingers.
fuck the Kookaburra, sell them some pingers.
Hi, Christopher Walken here. I just got finished watching the Stingers, and I gotta say, they're really, really good.
Noel Lyles, from wheels to wheels chair.
Swans v Collingwood, Friday Night Lights. Pretty pumped for that.
Just here with Tom Craig. Tom, mate, how you going?
My mouth is very dry. Line of cocaine.
Here goes. That's what the people had to say. Look, let's put it in perspective. There was no gold overnight for Australia, but I would argue, if I was arguing, which I'm not, that we got the next best thing: multiple silvers, multiple bronzes, and a shot at gold with the Stingers, which I think will be worth the wait. And I think it's also important to remember that there's, a lot of people presume this is a cricket show. That'd be wrong. It's a show about toxic masculinity. You can't always ton up, okay? Except for Bradman.
Yeah.
And when you don't ton up, it's important to score ugly.
Mm-hmm.
There are a few things uglier in this nation than silver and bronze due to our sporting exceptionalism. But we're scoring ugly runs, and isn't that a metaphor for life? He goes,
I guess so.
Dinner, dishes, folding clothes, putting them away, social occasions. Sometimes you just have to win ugly.
Oh, I see.
On
yes.
those occasions, day to day, in the grind, rise and grind.
Mm-hmm.
It's not gold every single day.
Are you saying you've got to earn the right to play?
Yes, I am. And there'll be people at home going, no, it is gold every day. It's 4 gold every day. And the ironclad law of the nation is that once you hit a certain standard, that's the standard that I expect every single day. 4 golds a day, which would put us at about 80 golds next Olympics.
I feel like Tom Craig this morning in that I've just had the highest of highs, and then this morning, serotonin completely sapped, and I'm flat. Now, good news though, Pezza. Australia remained third on the gold medal tally.
Would you call it unassailable?
Well, I'm not sure. I'm
Can't
not
be
sure.
assailed?
I'm not sure if the French can assail us.
Tom
But
was.
they are 4 gold medals behind Australia in 4th. I'm not sure about the rest. I'm sure Team GB will be there or thereabouts. The Dutch are usually pretty good. I'm not sure where the Germans are. But I read this. Australia's medal tally hits 45, closing in on the record of 58 set at Sydney 2000. Now, how much do you care about breaking a medal record as opposed to breaking the gold medal record?
As opposed to?
Yes, because people have noted that there are several new events each Olympics, so there are more opportunities to win gold.
Yeah.
Australia themselves are carrying 460 athletes to these games. That's the third most, behind the Chinese, behind the Americans.
Yes.
So, maybe we should be doing well.
There's 2 answers to this, right? There's the visceral answer, and then there's the X's and O's answer. Now, the visceral answer is no, I don't care about the medal tally in opposition to winning gold.
Yep.
Right? It's all about gold. At the end of the day, the silvers and the bronzes always contain a level of ugliness to them. Always. But the X's and O's answer is that if you host the Olympics, as Sydney did in 2000s, you've got automatic entry to every single event. So you're going to be tallying up your sort of stolen silvers and bronzes in events that the nation doesn't care about.
Yeah.
And when you're hosting the games, that matters because you ultimately go into a ballot to go and see these things. When if you were around in Sydney 2000, when you went to that fixture, you wanted to see an Aussie on the dais, on the rostrum, on the podium. Right? And so for that reason, those numbers matter. But in any other Olympics, an ordinary Olympics, the gold is what matters most.
I think Australians receiving, losing silver and bronze medals at these Olympics, they suffer from the excellence of the 18 golds beforehand because Australians aren't interested in the plucky bronze. Now, you could be ranked, let's call it 116th in the world, and you've made and you're in the diving or something, right? And you come from nowhere to get third. I'm just not interested. Because I need you, like, let's say The Mighty Ducks was a movie about them finishing third after a playoff. Like, you need to go on the dream run. Like, if you're going to go for the dream of winning, some come from behind amazing miracle victory, Well, bronze is all well and good, and I'm sure it means a lot to you in your life, for your family, and a reward for hardships, highs and lows, sacrifices made from family and friends, and yourself in your life. No good to me. It's gold or fuck off.
And that's why the Olympics is capitalist heaven.
Yeah.
It's not about everyone working together to achieve a result that has some meaning beyond where you are on the podium. It's about winning and fucking literally the two people next to you, you are above them. You may as well be pushing them down.
It's Everest.
Exploiting them.
Yeah.
Exactly, to hit the apex of what's going on. Your flag is above them.
Yeah.
It's visual vectors.
You can't be standing on K2 and think, I'm king of the world.
The kayak.
Yeah, in the kayak, yeah. You've taken a kayak at K2.
Out of them, apparently.
Well, you go fast on the way down.
Yeah. So, hey, we should shout out here, by the way, Higgins, just to give people a heads up.
Yeah, what should we do?
That our final show, our concluding show for Morning After Paris,
Yes.
which has been a very special thing for us to do.
We had some fun, haven't we? Yeah.
Yeah, we've had a lot of fun, and a lot of people have had a lot of fun with it. Our final show will be on Sunday. Sunday is a concluding show for Morning After Paris. We understand that evening the closing ceremony happens. There are a host of events happening on that day.
Right.
There is jeopardy at stake. Just accept the news that Sunday's the last day, and this venture has to move on to other matters from Monday onwards. We're very much looking forward to our farewell show. We're sorry we won't be able to cover the closing ceremony, the kitsch, the flamboyance, the campness therein, and potentially a marathon result and maybe breaking.
Yeah. Also, Jess Hull's races on Sunday, but let's just
that's how it is. We must move on to
training
other
for LA
events.
starts on Monday.
Exactly,
and I need to forget about what's happened immediately.
That's right.
Hey, let's talk about the Stingers.
That's what people are here for.
Let's talk about the Stingers. Yep. Okay, they're playing against the USA in a semi-final game, right? The USA are 3-time defending gold medalists.
Yeah.
By the way, silver in Beijing. So that's silver in Beijing, gold London, gold Rio, gold Tokyo.
Wow.
Trying to do something that's never been done before in men's or women's water polo, and that's win 4 gold medals in a row. 54 times the Stingers have played against the US. The USA have won 40 times, and there's been 2 draws. So Australia's won 12 out of 54 games against the US. Australia took them to pens after tying it up 8-8, and then won the shootout with a save by Gabby Palm, whose dad used to play for the Wallabies, off the final throw to play Spain in the final for gold. Yeah, apparently that's what the commentary was telling me.
Well, Tilly Kearns' dad played for the Wallabies as well. Phil Kearns.
Yeah, and there's also Daryl Halligan.
Bronte Halligan was the sharpshooter, much like her dad, who tied it up 8-8. They were down 8-6.
So
some safe names there.
Yes, they are. So they were down 2-0 in the first quarter with 5 seconds left. Chucky Andrews banged it in for 2-1.
Yeah.
And then they were down 3-1 midway through the second quarter. Zoe Arancini, the skipper, made it 3-2 from deep. USA then up 4-2. Then with 10 seconds left in the half, the USA pulled off a counterattack to make it 5-2. So they're down 5-2 right on the stroke of halftime against a team they barely ever win against.
Hat-trick of golds, going for 4, have won 14 out of 54 games against this mob.
All looking
down
pretty
5-2 at halftime.
All looking pretty good for the seppos and the drink.
Yeah. You'd be turning that off if you weren't Australian.
That's right. Abby Andrews.
Here we go.
Scores 3 in a row in the third quarter.
Of course she does, because we're in the drink.
That's right. The third one to make it 5-5 came from a counterattack where the US had basically a tap in to make it 6-4 to them. Yeah. Counterattack down there, 5-5. Huge moment in the game.
2-goal turnaround.
That's exactly right.
What they call it.
Start of the fourth quarter, USA get up 8-6. You think, like Australia's hanging with them, but they can't quite get there.
And they know how to win the US, right? So that's a game set match.
That's what people were saying.
Yeah. Which is a tennis phrase.
Bronte Halligan, though.
Go on, Daryl.
Ties it up 8-8 with 3 minutes left to play. And then both sides couldn't quite get over the line. Penalty shootout. And then Gabby Palm does the business. Makes the final save in the sudden death situation. Because it was 6-5, I think, in the shootout.
It was 6-5.
Amazing stuff.
It was 6-5.
For the Stingers.
They went goal for goal, Gabby Palm. Now, I just firstly want to shout out the safety of the names within the Stingers. Now, not only is Stingers as a moniker very good and makes me feel safe, both for its, its fame natively.
Yeah.
It's something that we look up, that we treasure. It's also done some damage to some names as well.
Yeah, it's a touching tribute.
That's
actually,
right.
to a fallen
but it's
hero.
it's a touching tribute, and also particularly would intimidate the US, who were also into.
They were into it. Yeah,
the entire thing
to the fallen hero.
Yeah. So there's that, but then you have Tilly Kearns, Phil's daughter, Bronte Halligan, sharpshooter.
Yes.
And to a lesser extent, Zoe Arancini. A lot of us like Arancini balls.
Balls to her mates.
Now, I'm just saying.
Skipper, balls.
But you hear Arancini, everyone feels good. That's a hit of dopamine right there.
Yeah.
Arancini knocking
it
about.
is Friday,
Anytime you're at an event and there's Arancini knocking around, you're at a good event.
See you later. I might as well be fucking yesterday, gold medal, just fucking feasting.
Oh, mate.
Not talking to me for 45 minutes. Pig in a trough, strap a feed bag on me, munching away on the skipper.
I didn't even warn you about that, and you're off. Now, what about the nominative determinism here of Australia's keeper? Because through time, you've had Usain Bolt.
I remember him.
Gretchen Speed.
Speedos.
The US steeplechaser Trip Hurt. Now, not more works in reverse there.
Yeah.
But Australian Stingers keeper Gabby Palm. Gets the palm she needs.
Mitts.
Gets the mitts
Gabby
out.
Mitts.
Not to be confused with Mips, which we'll get
Come
to
on,
in a
Mitts.
second.
Gabby
Gets the
Mitts.
mitts out. She deflects Muscle Man's shot wide.
Yeah.
There's something about the Stingers.
Yes.
And we've been saying that from the start.
And the thing about it is that they've got a guaranteed medal. That has been the
which
thing.
is not, look, that's all nice to put in the back pocket, but from an Australian perspective, it's expected. And now it's time to go and get the correct colour, which will be against Spain.
Yes.
Who themselves defeated the Dutch in a shootout. Who gives one, really?
Yeah, and the problem is that Spain, I looked it up today on my time during the FIBA World Rankings.
Yeah.
It was just something I peruse most mornings.
Yeah.
Spain are number one in the world for both men and women's.
So you're saying that in the gold medal match, the Stingers will sort of face off against a good team, a team that also has designs on the medal.
I think so.
That is, yeah.
I think Australia's ranked 6th in the women's or something like that, and the USA are ranked 3rd.
Never not jarring, as we've said multiple times on this show, that other countries too care about this and also bring their own story to it. Now, they're not stories that I'm interested at all in engaging in. Like for me, the Stingers is just about the only team in the water polo, and they just have one more game to win that I'll wake up to and see some highlights of.
breathe audibly out of your nose,
right. And maybe turn it up if the kettle's on because I'm trying to boil my coffee, trying to boil some water. Now that's not me. I'm just talking about I'm holding up a mirror to the Australian.
Well, that's the
series.
great thing about the Olympics, Pezza, and especially with water polo, because it's a sport that Australia, I think, have been good at in the past. And obviously,
It's either drink and there's a ball. Better be good at it.
Exactly. Better be top 2, and it's not 2. And so it's incredibly easy to find the stories of the other good nations, but that's not going to stop me from seeing Spain being number 1, being like, oh, that's interesting. Spain are one.
Yeah, that's right. I've never heard of these guys.
And it's incredibly easy to just be like, oh no, I can see the history there, read some stories. Like, it's actually quite easy to find out information. But Hungary. Oh, okay.
It is really confronting, like particularly from the men's perspective, because we know the water polo guys generally of a tertiary class of man.
Oh goodness
with
me, yes.
but tertiary class of man with naturally high testosterone and chests and quads for days. Right?
Yeah.
And they're the sort of people that would alpha you and beat you up at school. It's hard to imagine that they're about 6th in the world at best. There's 5 other countries with bigger alphas than that.
I think the men are like 12th in the world. That's why I was so surprised when they beat Serbia and Hungary.
Like, what is this?
Yeah.
It's almost like we get served a certain version of truth about our sport that is not quite marrying up with the full picture.
Well, the great thing about the Sharks beating Serbia and Hungary the great thing about Greg Norman is he's got a massive piece.
Not much else. I mean, what a rig for a bloke his age, but the rest,
and also an enormous weapon. Weapons grade bloke.
Yeah, a physical weapon and a weapons grade man.
But goodness me, couldn't he swing a club?
Oh yeah.
Just not at the Masters.
Yeah, that's right. That's not what about it.
Yeah.
The Sharks.
The Sharks, when they were 12th in the world, beating like these heroic acts of strength, against the Titans from Hungary and Serbia. And we're being told that like this is a enormous occasion. But I'm still like, nah, that's about right. Yeah, Australia being Serbia in the drink, yeah. I don't see what the issue is.
So these poor athletes don't understand that the nation's relationship to them is turning on 9 HD and hoping that 9 is having a look at them. And that's if they're doing something good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
If they don't...
and like 9 sit there going like 4 years of blood, sweat and tears, and like literally the coverage is, we'll have a look at this.
And also, if they don't currently have the ball, I'm open up the same 3 apps again over and over again, just in case anything news happened on there that I might have missed.
Instagram. I start scrolling, mate, I might open Instagram here. Oh, fuck, didn't I just have this open?
Oh, anyway. Highlights from the water polo.
Yeah. It's all right, it's a bloke called Edwards in the...
All right.
So that's the water polo.
That's the water polo.
So that's gold.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah. Where else? Where are we going now? Here goes.
Can we talk about the men's canoe silver?
Yep.
So the Aussie crew of Raleigh.
I like that you ordered it this way as well. Like there was actual medals achieved, but we started with a potential gold.
That's right.
Man?
That's right.
Got it.
So the Australian crew of Riley Fitzsimmons, Pierre van der Westhuizen, Jackson Collins, and Noah Vard missed gold in the men's K4 500 metre canoe sprint in a photo finish against Germany. That's the Aussies' first Olympic medal in that event, the K4, since London, which was in 2012. So the Aussies were coming home strongest, beaten by 0.04 of a second on the line. Unfortunately for them, they'd broken the Olympic record in the semi-finals, so I was expecting joy, utopia, euphoria. And unfortunately, it's a photo finish, nothing for me. Fuck, that's harsh, isn't it? Did you see the race? It was a good race.
Oh, I saw the last 3 seconds of it as 9.
Just caught it. Just caught the end of it.
Yeah, boys actually this for me, like I presume this, and I'm just saying this because of the camera angles, that they're part of the Rosellas. Are they part of the Rosellas unit, or are they part of more of the Jess Fox team heading down the rapids?
No, because
they're on flat water. Yeah, but you're in a canoe. I need to know what team they're part of because even just from a camera angle perspective, and it is a perspective that I revere and regard
I know you do. I know you do. Yeah,
like I needed to see an Australian boat win that car horn race. I needed one.
Yes.
As we've said earlier on this program, it's when you're of our vintage and you grow up with the awesome foursome, you need to see a gold boat get there first and hear that horn.
I am very unaccustomed to seeing Australia, especially the men being so shit in the
Unders.
drink. Yeah.
Look, all we can say is that they're just fired up to bounce back because I'm not taking 2 successive rowing programs being unders.
Yeah.
I'm not taking. I actually I foreshadowed that ahead of this game.
No,
like,
you've been
if they're unders here,
weeks.
that's fine. Yeah.
What are their names again?
If they go back to back unders, there will be riots.
Now, are they in Rosellas or are they in the Jess Fox canoe stuff?
Is this the car horn gear or? Anyway, silver. Hey, it's something.
Yeah,
I guess it's something.
Fucking harsh, isn't it? They rode their hearts out in the photo finish.
If anybody's listening to this going like taking it personally,
boys, fair dinkum.
Well, then like write in and give us a serve, and maybe we deserve that.
Yeah, maybe.
Yep.
Marathon swimming, the women's 10K. So this was Moesha Johnson.
This is another one where my WhatsApps are lighting up from my mates and casual observers, and then they just slowed down a little bit in the last 400.
Right. So took silver in the women's 10K marathon event, falling to a Dutch training partner, Sharon van Rouwendaal.
That will be it. Yeah.
Almost definitely. Johnson is the second Australian to medal in the event, following from Karina Lee's third place performance in Tokyo a couple of years ago.
Yep.
So there's that.
That's a good swing.
So this event, which I didn't know was happening until it was on the television, is an unbelievably what's the right word? It looks extremely hard to do.
Arduous, torturous.
So when they're swimming in the Seine, obviously, which has a tide to it.
Oh yeah.
And so when they're with a tide, no problem.
Yeah.
against the tide. They're in treacle.
Quite easy.
And so what they're doing is they're literally swimming against the banks under like wreaths and vines that are growing into the water to try and get themselves out of the rapid 10Ks. There's also like feed breaks as well.
Oh yeah.
So they their support staff are literally like having like a fishing line with gels, and they dip them into the water. And then the swimmers just take them. They stuff a couple into their swimsuits. They might take one. They have one right there to try and gain energy over 10K. It's like a 2-hour swim for the winners. And then they're like they have to stop at some points to then consume the gel, and then just like they rip open the top of the gel packs, suck on some gel, have a feed, and then just like get rid in the water. I'm not sure who's cleaning that up.
I hope they clean that up.
I hope they do. Yeah. So Mo Johnson was out in front for a long period of time.
Just on that swim, we're always looking at each sport and asking ourselves, well, does that belong in the Olympics? Does it satisfy the criteria of being something fundamental to the human experience or even an ancient experience? And the answer is yes. Because that's what they used to do in the Nile River in Egypt.
That's true.
Instead of gel, they had papyrus with the reeds. They just ate the reeds.
That's right. That's right.
Through. So
yeah,
I'm glad to see that homage.
Yes,
to people having a little dip in the drink in the Nile. So on to Moe.
That's right. Yeah. So she came. I think she came sixth in the 1500 in the stadium drink.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's what the commentary was saying. I think it was sixth. But yeah, so this race was so there was 3 out in front.
Yep.
I forget who came third. But there was a Dutch woman. There was Aussie Mo. And someone else. And they were out in front. Then there was a chasing pack, and they were 30, 35, 40 seconds behind, something like that. But when they were coming for, it was like last sort of like 500 meters, they were only about maybe 30 meters away.
Right.
But it took them that long to get from to catch up to that chasing group against the tide. Plus, I'd also swum 9.5 Ks at this point, so knackered. But that's how difficult it would be to like make up time. Anyway, Mo Johnson was leading for the last I don't know. Well, I watched maybe the last 4 Ks or something. She was leading the entire time, and then Sharon, the Dutch lady, just took a surge with about 300 to go. Couldn't catch her, silver. But she was close.
It's excruciating, like, event to watch, and you know it must be difficult when swimmers are literally swimming into the barriers.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. So you can't see shit for a start.
Yeah, you can't see shit.
Well, actually, you probably could see.
If you ever like swum in the ocean and like just raised your head up to see where you're going, it's just that for 10Ks.
Yeah.
And you can't see properly, like very well, and you like Moesha swam into a barrier at one point, just like you've got blinkers on.
Because I was thinking like it'd be much easier to be like behind the leader because you're just following the leader if you're behind. But like to actually have the constantly bobbing your head up to know where you're going. If you're out in front, like literally no one in front of you.
Anyway. But it was nice to see the Sen had met acceptable thresholds for water quality, and I did note, and this is according to the Guardian, Mike Heitner. Excellent pieces after each day, saying catching up on what you missed.
Yeah.
Now I just read that to supplement the fact that I stayed up and watched everything. But nevertheless, he said, he wrote that Moesha Johnson would be supplementing her celebratory soft drink with some antibiotics.
Yes, because some of the swimmers have been having a can of Coke, which some of them believe to be defeating the bacteria they've consumed.
Yeah, well, it's like Gilly. Adam Gilchrist hasn't got COVID because he drinks a shot of tequila every day.
Every day.
Yeah. Yep. He swears by it. So a lot of Aussies celebrating with like on Gina Reinhardt's boat and drinking champagne and the greatest French wine, from the Loire Valley, etc. And Mo here has a can of Coke and some antibiotics. So here. And I believe Thomas Craig actually claimed that's what he was doing too as well. That is antibiotics.
Yeah.
So
from the penthouse to the shithouse.
I did just shout out as well to the general reaction on TV to Moesha's silver. I was pleased to hear that she's an Aussie battler, and I also was pleased to hear that in the race she put it all on the line.
Okay.
Because I was wondering that while she was swimming, is this all on the line or not?
Yeah.
And can somebody tell me?
Yeah.
Has she put it all on the line?
Has she had any lines?
Yeah. I heard that she demonstrated true Australian grit in that race, which was another question I had watching it. What level of truth is there to the grit that she's displaying?
Not to be confused with the film True Grit.
Thank you. Yeah,
That's
which is why
not talking about the same thing.
Modifier of Australian was there.
Yeah.
And I also heard that her swim was brave. So it's something in the way the arms and legs were turning over indicated bravery
and courage.
Just on that, Doug wrote in. He goes, he said he needed our help because for the average Aussie listening at home, it's become evident we need you to lead the development of an official medal ranking system and then obtain AOC. And that's, I don't know what AOC has to do with this. She's busy campaigning. I don't know how I'm going to obtain her. It feels like it'd be illegal. And Aussie media outlet agreement. Some categories may include gold. So you got you come from behind gold, masterclass gold, power over top gold, never in doubt gold, photo finish gold, early round misfire, bringing in the finals gold, sibling gold, sad family backstory gold, back to back gold, 1-2 Australia gold, silver. She's got wheels gold, big build up, what a relief gold. Left the sport back for redemption gold. And then in silver, you got photo finish silver, heartbreak silver, unexpected silver, add to her gold silver. Led all the way silver, done your country proud silver, crowd favourite silver.
Right.
I thought she had it to the naked eye silver. He was robbed silver. And as we said there, you got your true grit, true Aussie grit. You got your brave silver.
Yes.
And then bronze.
And your Long John silver.
Yeah, you got your Uruguayan striker Dario Silva. Bronze, stoked to get an Olympic medal. Bronze, forever fourth monkey off the back. Bronze. No Channel 9 coverage, ABC radio mention only. Bronze. First Aussie medal in this event. Bronze, consolation bronze. Tough to compete with the big nations. Bronze, hometown hero. Bronze, come from behind, manages to steal. Bronze. And yeah, he said, are there any others for the consideration? Many thanks for your help. I do think ahead of the LA 2028 and our caps in the ring to continue doing this, perhaps the development of those kinds of tables will be helpful. They go above the per capita, above the population, the GDP, all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. So thank you, Doug.
Thanks, Doug.
So that's the marathon swimming.
Jess Hull.
Yeah.
Through to the 1,500 metre final. So Jess Hull made the final. She came
as expected,
second in her heat, which was her heat was a second of two heats. Sorry, semi-finals. Her semi-final was rapid, real rapid. So
a couple of Ethiopian runners as well, just discussing tactics, according to Jess.
I see.
In the cool room beforehand.
Oh, okay.
In their own language,
wow.
which Jess was fine with.
Wow.
But she was presuming that there was some tactics to ensure that it wasn't an easy race for Jess, but she was comfortable.
Yeah, okay.
She was comfortable.
Interesting. So that race is on Sunday morning, Paris time. Actually, it might be Sunday morning. It might be Saturday night. I don't know when it's on.
Yeah, that's do the conversions.
Let's make that clear.
Actually.
So Kenya's Faith Kipyegon, who's won the 1,500 metre gold at the last two Olympics, plus the world champs, I think last year or maybe this year. She's a legend. She's a favourite.
Legend, the format, and got done for silly buggers in the earlier race.
Silly buggers.
Yeah, remember when she was linking the old arms?
Oh
there
I do remember that. Yeah,
yeah.
That was like 3 days ago.
She got to swallow. Her silver was taken away from her for the arm linking silly buggers. But you know what happened after that? Because I can see people in the emails now. She appealed it, silver reinstated. Nevertheless, she's been involved in silly buggers.
I didn't know that she had been
silver reinstated, appealed, silver reinstated.
Well, that's a new category for Doug.
Reinstated silver. Very good, very good, very good.
Anyway, I mentioned before about how quick the heat, the semi-final was for Jess. So she came second, but so top six go through to the final in each semi-final. So all six that finished in Jess's semi-final were so who came sixth in Jess's semi-final was 2 seconds faster than Kipyegon, who won her semi-final.
And this is why I don't know if there's a repechage in the 1,500, but that's why your repechage exists.
I'm not sure if it works I'm not sure how. I think there's just 12 in the final.
Yeah, right. I'm not. So I don't think there is one for 1,500. But like that, doesn't that go to show? It's not like swimming where you literally stay in your lane.
There's more of a racing element.
It's a racing element.
Yeah.
And you got your pace setters, etc.
That's right. That's right.
God, it'd suck going into a race as a pace setter. It's like, oh, I'm falling away, but I'll just set the pace here.
I'm no danger. Now, if you were going to come 12th in the Olympic final in the 1,500 metres.
Yeah, set the pace for a bit, though. Like, you get like 10 seconds on screen of being out in front.
I'd be, I mean, of course, what you do is to make your family and your team and your training staff and your support staff proud is to try and run the best race possible. For me, I'm trying to break 11 second 100 first out of the blocks.
Exactly,
I'm off. I'm off.
It's actually a missed opportunity at athletics carnivals, like just to really annoy teachers. I was just pace setting. Miss.
And you'd been annoyed if someone went with you.
Yeah. Yeah, you thought you were pace setting and
fuck off.
you were just in the slipstream mid-back. I'm in the washing machine of this race. Well, I went to Yahoo Sport for my Jess Hull news, and
I know you did, mate.
And they come up with the best headlines. Jessica Hull lights up track with insane act amid unprecedented Aussie relay drama. Which we'll get to the boys in a second.
Right.
I couldn't quite figure out what the insane act was, other than just she ran the second fastest time ever. I don't believe that is tantamount to insanity.
No.
So Tamsin Manu, obviously Australian, great middle distance. We're saying there.
Graham's partner.
I didn't know that.
I just made that up.
Right. Okay. Said after this race, she's got another gear. If she wanted to take this win, so she came second in her semi.
Yes.
If she wanted to take this win, she takes it. She takes the win. So if she wanted it, she didn't even want it for the semi. So that's Carrot's conservation.
I'll be honest with you, watching it, I thought she wanted it. And she just finished second.
Nah, mate,
there was a bit of a dash to the line.
Well, okay. Let me put this to you then. Here goes.
Please.
Because Jared Waitley was on comms.
Yes, he was.
So Tamsin said it her way. Yeah. She could have taken that if she wanted. This is how Jared saw it. This feels like the Bart Cummings preparation.
Huh?
It's timed to the minute. Referencing Australia's legendary racehorse trainer.
Yes, well...
So was that your thought as well, as Jess Hull crossed the line? I don't think we've had enough horse racing analogies.
It was a gallop, yeah.
Yeah.
That is a majestic... It's a majestic horse.
I get Waitley's having a look at that and going like, you know what, if I didn't know better, this looks like a Bart Cummings trained horse.
And the horse's name is Jessica Hull. Unusual for a horse to be given a human name.
Is saintly. That's what as I was watching, I'm like, you know what? This is very reminiscent of Let's Elope '93.
Well,
you know,
I had a Boulder hat on watching this race, and I had an old newspaper rolled up into a ball, and I was whipping it like her, and I was saying, "Come on, Winksy girl! Come on, Winksy girl!" And then I realised I was watching Jess Hull in the 1500 semi-finals at the Olympic Games.
It makes sense because you know Snoop Dogg fed horses carrots.
Yes,
Jess Hull's conserving her carrots. You know what I'm saying? So she's got some carrots left over. And I'm with Jared on that. It did feel like a Bart Cummings preparation to me. If she wins gold, she'll be the first Aussie since Herb Elliott in 1960 to win Olympic 1,500 metre gold. I've got to take that. Because I remember at Athletics Carnivals, 1,500 was the max for us. Like, we weren't doing, there was no 3,000 metres around the track.
No, I don't. No.
So I don't know. Like, to me, if it's got an Athletics Carnival analogy, I'm into it.
Mm-hmm.
Shaping up to be a mega, like 27-year-old Hull said, is shaping up to be a mega final. And yeah, she says, I do believe I can win gold. This is exactly what I want to hear.
Oh, that's good.
It's the greatest time for the 1,500 ever. We're saying 3:56 just to make the final from that heat, so that's insane.
Yeah.
That's the insane act, I guess, that it was fast.
Yeah, so, and Kip Jurgen ran 3:58. Now, it's just a different heat, so, like, you know, Kip Jurgen can go quick.
But that's a showdown.
I'm into that.
Yep.
On the track.
We're not into it enough to cover it, but...
Well, it depends what it is.
Because we have other matters.
Depends what it is. Do you want to talk about the men's relay you mentioned before?
Look, the men's relay... the boys broke the national record. They finished sixth in a pretty fast heat. Didn't make the final.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
And the boys are happy.
The boys are happy with it,
Josh has a party and the boys.
Yes.
And they're happy to break the record. Didn't make the final. I'm moving on with my life personally. I'm not spitting chips that we don't get to see them in a final.
No. It just goes to show like where Australian athletics are for the men, especially.
I don't want to like.
They've broken a record and they didn't go through.
Because when you know the nation's slipping a little bit, when you're having that duality of news where they've achieved something they've never achieved before and it's nowhere near good enough for the final race. Let's move on. Let's shut the curtain on this.
That's right. Boxing bronze. A couple of boxing bronzes, Pezza.
Yep.
So Charlie Senior secured a bronze in the men's featherweight.
Yep.
When I say secured a bronze, what I mean is he lost in a semi-final.
Yeah, they
because
both get bronze.
They both get bronze.
Yeah.
They don't fight.
The Uzbek fighter touted him up.
Oh, really?
Believe me.
Okay, I didn't actually see it, but I saw this one. Caitlin Parker.
So did I.
Also fell in the semis, losing to China's Li Quan. And the women's middleweight, losing boxers in the semi-final, of course, to the playoff. So Caitlin becomes the first woman to win a boxing medal for Australia.
Good.
And no Australian has ever won gold in boxing, men or women.
See, that's not right, given the lineage of boxers we've had
There is
here.
a pedigree.
Yeah, there's a pedigree, we tell ourselves. Is there more of a pedigree here than any other nation? I wouldn't know.
No, well, I would suggest that other nations are better boxers, and I base that on the fact that Australia's never won gold.
Gold, yeah.
So, and other nations have.
But we should be better than that.
Yeah.
Hang on. Lionel Rose, Jeff Fennick,
Yep.
Anthony Mundine,
Yep.
Danny Green, who famously was in the Olympics. Yep. And Harry Garside. There's 5 people who've boxed.
Yep.
Think about it. I watched Caitlin Parker's bout as well, and she's the boxing captain.
I didn't know
Caitlin
that.
Parker, and my experience of it was it was sort of madness around our house this morning. My youngest Barney turned 4 this morning. Happy birthday, Barney! Once again, listening later on to figure out who Dad was, and being slightly concerned. So it was the bout was on, and so I was sort of overhearing things, and Caitlin Parker was introduced, and then I heard that she was up against Chun Li. Right, so you said Li Quan, so like you reverse that, so it's Chun Li, and so Chun Li to kids of our vintage is the Street Fighter, is actually the namesake of the first female playable character in Street Fighter 2.
Right.
So that's a big fight for Caitlin.
Yes.
Chun Li, of course, the expert martial artist and Interpol officer, who interestingly in Chun Li's storyline, to me anyway, restlessly seeks revenge for the death of her father at the hands of the evil M. Bison. Okay, so Chun Li out to get Mitch Marsh in Street Fighter. Now, onto the bout itself.
Yeah.
I thought Chun Li was very good value for that win.
Yes.
Caitlin Parker started well. In fact, won the first round unanimously.
Yeah.
But then Chun Li got busy.
Yes.
And Chun Li was taller, more powerful,
Yeah.
more stable, and
Bloodied the nose of Parker.
bloodied the nose. Yeah, we saw some claret,
Yes.
as described by Andy Raymond. And just from my boxing vantage point, done
Yep.
some boxer-size classes in the past,
Yep.
I thought Chun Li deserved that win. Now,
Yeah.
Caitlin Parker did say, I wanted that gold medal so badly, and this is how much she wanted it. It's been my screensaver on my phone for the past 4 years. I've worn nothing but gold. I literally haven't worn silver or grey for the past 2 or 3 years because it's too close to being silver, and I always want gold. I've heard a lot through this Olympics, he goes, of manifesting things.
Yep.
And I have to commend that, but I guess this would disprove that theory.
Yeah, probably just go to training.
That's right. I kept dressing in V100 Slazenger gear through my cricket career because I wanted to score hundreds. People kept saying, "Can you please have a bat?" No, just.
I kept putting on gimp masks.
Why was that?
Oh, that's just a proclivity.
Yeah, 'cause I'm sexually aroused by them.
It's just nothing to do with anything. I'm just telling you.
Get that gimp mask on, away we go.
Bronze in the pole vault. Cindy Namba, despite losing her semi-final bite in the women's 75 kilo boxing competition, that was what Caitlin was in the other semi-final.
Yep.
She's the first ever medalist for the Olympic refugee team.
Oh, that's cool.
So the 25-year-old boxer moved to Bolton in the UK, which is near Manchester for those playing at home.
Gotcha.
Exactly. And Sam Allardyce. She moved there from Cameroon when she was 11 because Number is gay and cannot return home where homosexuality is outlawed and she could be imprisoned. Hence why that's why she's playing for the refugee. She's boxing for the refugee side.
That's awesome.
And so
that achievement's awesome.
And I think there's 30, 35, 36, 37 refugee athletes in this year's Olympics. So there you go. There's that. Beach volleyball.
Okay.
Taliqua and Maria Fay. I think someone boys actually. That's a pronunciation of Artacho del Sola, Maria Fay, and Taliqua. The two Aussies will not be doing better than their silver medal last time out, Pezza, because they lost to the Brazilians in the semi-final this morning, Australia time. So they won the first set, but then dropped the next two. They'll play for bronze tomorrow morning underneath the Eiffel Tower there. So bad news for the girls. Up the first set, dropped the next two. Brazilians too good. We'll talk about this being a redemption Olympics for the girls. No good.
Well, you respect going down to the Brazilians at a sport like beach volleyball.
That's a good point. I do.
I struggled to conceive of this mob losing to the Swiss.
Yep.
In beach volleyball.
Yep.
But Brazilians, I can wear that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be tuning in for the final. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I did say I'll watch the gold medal game, but just save me
more from a like a research and sports broadcasting standpoint.
Yep.
And journalistic integrity.
An update on the golf?
Yeah.
No good in the golf, mate.
Oh.
Minjee Lee was 2 over today.
And we've had some good golfers.
We have had some good golfers up with the Shark.
Yep. Adam Scott. Ian Baker Finch.
Got the yips.
Yeah, well.
Jason Day. He's won majors.
Yep.
Loads. So that means Minjee Lee.
What happened to Minjee Lee?
2 over today, so she's now 1 over. So she's dropped 15 places. So she was 7th going into the start of the round 2. Now she's 22nd. Hannah Green had a good day. She played her round 2 under, so she moved up 17 places. But her round 2 days ago was dog shit, and so she's sitting 29th in the field. The leader is -8, and Kiwi Lydia Ko. Is 3rd and 3 shots back. So good news for the Anzacs.
Liam writes in, boys, actually said in the last step, our only hope for gold in the women's golf was going to be Minjee Lee. Don't forget about our Kiwi brethren. Lydia Ko is currently 5 under at the time of writing this email. Sorry, so you corrected that, in round 2. And as former world number 1, the youngest ever 2 and 2-time major champion, she's a serious contender. And let us not forget, whatever wins they have, we have.
That's right.
Besides, there's plenty of drinks surrounding the lush greenery that is Le Golf National. Maybe our 2 Aussie girls can not only be inspired by the drink, but also by the actions last week from our nation's golden girls. Loving your work so far, Jensen. Out of curiosity, is there any chance we can get this for the Paralympics? P.S. as a former training buddy of Cole Pearce, any successes he has at the Paralympics, I take full responsibility. Cheers, boys. Liam, we won't be doing the Paralympics as we're moving on to back to cricket ventures. So apologies for that. Would have loved to have done it. I would have loved to have done the Paralympics, but we move back to contracted cricket ventures as a obligation of the business.
Yeah.
Doesn't that sound inspiring? Because I love cricket at the moment.
If you're watching this Channel 7, can't wait to be on the television. In the diving, Pezza.
Yeah.
Madison Keeney qualified 2nd through to the finals for tonight's 3-metre springboard. Watched a bit of this yesterday afternoon with Tubby and Sam on comms.
Yep.
And so Madison was outstanding, but a bit of controversy because there was a Mexican diver who was...
They're good divers.
So she was going to be... she had 2 dives left, and she would have been like in the top 3. Definitely, so the top 12 go through the final, I think it is. Mexican diver's second last dive, failed dive. So she slipped on the board and then basically landed on her back, failed dive, zero from the judges, but then she appeals it. And so basically, as the commentators, the expert commentary of Sam and Tubbs was saying that you can appeal dives, but usually it's on an outdoor pool where maybe a bird swoops, or there's a flash of photography, or there's a noise in the crowd, or shutters from a camera or whatever. So you can actually appeal a dive and you get to do it again. So this is a key moment, because if she gets a 0, she's going to go from being 2nd to 18th or whatever, and out of the contention to, even if she has a 10 out of 10 dive in a final dive, won't be able to get back into the top 12 because she's getting zeros instead of like a 80 score or whatever. So she appeals it, and then the commentator's like, well, you're in an indoor pool. Like, there was no noise. There was no shutters. Like, a bird is not in the arena to distract you. That I mean, there could well have been.
I'd suggest, go on.
I'll look forward to hearing that later. And then, so the judges review it, and she's just slipped off the board. So she does like the 3 meter springboard. Obviously, they do like they sort of propel themselves, like bounce themselves to the tip of the board, then spring themselves up into the air. And when she goes to spring herself upwards in the start of the dive, she just like feet go underneath her basically, and she just slips out.
Right.
So then the judges are like, and they're really awkward about it. Like it's just like, I know you've appealed it, but like you've just fucked up.
Stay in your crease.
And then afterwards, like just tears because then it was tough to watch. But Maddie Keeney though slides into second. So you're looking at medal chance there. The Chinese diver is playing a different sport,
mate.
They are like, I don't understand what the point of being what the point of 10 is if they're not constantly getting 10s, because like what their dives are like, if that's like a 9. What's a 10?
Yeah.
Is it actually possible to get a 10? Because these dives are just incredible. They are immaculate, the skill, the precision of them. So everyone's playing for second. But,
Isn't that disappearance into the water so mesmerising? Like, I feel like it's like the lowest level of casual observation of diving, which is where I'm at.
Just down to the splash.
Well, it's just like,
splash
I didn't splash much, great dive.
Yeah, that's right.
But it still is a marvel to be like, how can so much weight and force be going through water, and the water is like, the less disturbed the water is, the more our mouths are agape. Like, how?
So off the 10 meter platform, they're going at 50 k's an hour when they hit the water. Like, that's why they're all like strapped up, to the 9s, because like you could dislocate limbs easily. I would have thought, propelling yourself that quickly into water. But yeah, it's incredible. Anyway,
it must be such an amazing feeling to enter the water like that, and to know I've essentially not disturbed the water there. Like that, you'd be, it's like diving into a vortex or something.
These Chinese divers are as close to defeating the sport than any sport I've seen ever, including like the greats of the game of like your Jordans or your Maradonas or whatever.
I'll get my neck up about Bradman. In the US lists of the most dominant sportsmen.
Yeah, of course. But like, you take my point. I've just never seen them not execute a dive. Anyway, so we're no chance of winning gold. But, Maddie Keeney.
Well, I've got a feeling.
Yeah, do you?
Actually.
Oh, speaking of feelings, Pezza, the Opals are on.
I see you've got this down.
So the game is tonight. Okay. The game is tonight. It's against the US. As we know, US have won 59 games in a row. 57 of those wins have been by double digits. But here's what Alana Smith said. She's oh, don't you know?
Oh, it's for the audience.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Oh, sorry, yeah. Alana Smith, everyone, she plays for Australia, and she's one of the 7 current WNBA players in the Opals team. And she said this: it's a big rivalry. Even in the lead up to the Olympics, I was playing in the US, and they were talking shit. So, you look at that record, and you think, well, this is the most secure lock of a gold medal anyone's ever had. But they forget that I've got a feeling that the Opals are going to win.
So when will they do it? Just like sort of on transition or defense, or what's the?
I think they're going to crack. I think they're going to bring him down to their level.
Yeah. Oh.
And beat him with experience.
Yeah. Never fight with a mug or a pig.
Yes. Nah.
I don't know why you would fight with a pig. And how does a pig beat you in wrestling? These are separate issues that we ponder.
This show's brought to you by Smith Optics Australia. Use the code FAST for 25% off your order at smithopticsaustralia.com. Hey, Pezza, we learned what MIP stood for this morning.
We certainly did. Multi-directional impact protection system, which is like a synonymous with helmets.
And the road helmet there that's behind you, the Trace MIPS, that's the pinnacle helmet in Smith's Performance Road Collection, and that's the all-new Trace, the Trace MIPS. Multi-directional impact protection system, that's MIPS. Behind me is the Payroll MIPS.
Yep.
That's the Mountain. So MIPS has basically been substituted for lid, for helmet.
Yeah.
But it's not the same thing. Well, it is the same thing, I guess.
We've all learnt that.
Yeah, that's right.
Charlie, do we have that lovely note that was sent in to us in the mixer? Did it get in there? Yeah. Yeah? Which is it? Which button?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we had a lovely note vis-a-vis Smith and this nomenclature.
Okay. Well, am I just going to press any button?
Yeah. The yellow one.
Okay.
Oh, press other ones. See what it is.
Okay.
Actually, don't do that.
And to quote Higgins, this maps has been the first time I've ever heard the phrase trace MIPS or choroid. So, that sponsor retention should really be passed on to the guys at Smith because you've done an excellent job on their ad reads and the morning after Paris. So thanks, boys. I'm getting emotional.
So,
all right. Well,
people are
message
getting up to
received.
speed with some cycling lingo as well.
Okay.
That's another thing we try and bring. So.
Well, that's good. Oh, anyway, you can go to the website because options are available there, including the sunglasses, the lifestyle range, the performance range, chroma pop technology. It's all there, and it's all there for you at
Athlete with
SmithOpticsAustralia.com. Use the code FAST for 25% off your order. 25%. What more do you want? Do you want 30%? Sorry, we can't give you that. We can only give you 25%. We can't even give you 20%. Okay, if you're wanting 20% off, we can't give that to you. 15, get out of here.
Sorry for giving you access to some of the great leisure wear and athletic wear, and then saying to you that you can actually get these products for 3/4 of the price.
Here's the
full
problem
price.
about the boys in the drink yesterday in the K4. That they weren't competitive brands and they weren't fast enough, okay?
Well.
And they lost by 0.04 of a second. What do you think that's about? Do you think they were fast enough, Pezza? Do you think they were fast enough to win gold wearing those fucking things?
Well, the proof's in the pudding.
Smith Optics. Get behind them. International news, Pezza. What about the men's 200 metres?
Well, what a boil over this was, lava inside a pot boiling over, heating up too much. It's boiled over out of the pot.
Noah Lyles takes bronze and leaves the arena in a wheelchair.
Christopher Skase style. In Mallorca. That's what I thought.
And then he tells us he got COVID as of 5 a.m. on Tuesday morning, it being Thursday night by the time he ran the race. Leslie Tobago wins Botswana's first gold medal and the first African man to win this title.
And he eased up over the line.
Oh,
too.
yeah, started slapping the old chest there. Yeah. Homage to Usain.
Well, 19.46, that's all he needed to do. Look, I have to say, watching the semi-final, I thought people were sleeping on Tobago. I really did. I thought he looked very relaxed as he was crossing the line there. He saved his carrots. So, and Noah Lyles, look, for me, if you're going to conceal having COVID so as to ensure that, at least with some humility, that your competitors can enjoy the win, then, conceal it. Don't jump into a wheelchair. You clearly had the capacity to fucking sprint 200 meters
in 19.8.
in less than 20 seconds. You don't have to jump into a wheelchair and then have the athletics association or whatever speak on your behalf about your condition. Give the man his victory. Okay,
I think that's fair enough.
Yeah,
I know it's his thing when he comes out of the stadium. I know that now because I watched the last race he ran in. But when he comes out of the stadium and he sprints out and he jumps around and he points at himself and he loves the attention, he loves being the showman, and that's all good. Because I think we like that from our sprinters. We like that sort of verve and energy, right? But if you've got COVID, and you're going to use as you've got that, and you've got that in the hip pocket. You've got that in the hip pocket, saying okay, if things don't go well.
Was he infectious during the 100 as well? He shouldn't have been going up and down the track. There's others in the stadium.
The 100 was on Monday, I think.
Oh, no, I'm just saying. Pre-COVID, he might have just been.
Yeah, true.
He'd be shedding now.
But his PB was what did I say? Yesterday, 19.3 or something. And he ran a 19.8. So he's just, these guys live in tenths of hundreds of seconds. So
I've got no doubt that they live in tents. They
live in tents.
No doubt that he's got it.
Yeah.
Just saying, just get out of there. Didn't you competed in the race. Now, what would have been good is if he'd won the race and sat in a wheelchair. Now we're talking.
What would have been good if he raced in a wheelchair?
Well,
next week.
Yeah, I've got it sitting there, and I haven't bettered it in my head. Yeah, and the thing about this, Higgos,
what's that, mate?
Is that what casual observers need to understand is that the 200 is Noah Lyle's pet race.
Yeah.
The one's a sideshow for him.
Yeah, unbeatable.
Yeah, unbeatable in the two.
That's what people were saying.
And just from an athletics perspective there, that's what makes this victory so consequential.
Yeah.
The 200's his pet race. So,
and also...
And what a boil over it was.
This was nice for Tobago from Botswana, whose mum died... when did she die? Last year.
So boil over and family tragedy goal.
That's right. So he came 6th in the 100. He won silver at the World Champs in Budapest last year, and his mother died. When his mother died, he took a month away from training. And he said this: "It's basically me." And then he wore her date of birth on his shoes that he was racing in last night. And he said this: "It's basically me carrying her through every stride that I take inside the field. Me to take her, it gives me a lot of motivation. She's watching up there, and she's really, really happy. I don't want to put the date of her." I didn't want to put the date of her death because I'll get emotional. I took about 3 weeks to a month without doing anything. It wasn't really clicking for me that she's really gone. For me, I have to find the reason why I started my athletics journey and why I should continue going on. So like emotional, family-driven, family trauma-driven gold medal victory against all odds. Botswana's first gold medal, first African man to win the title, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Given that
geographic
given that sprinting
component
pedigree
as well.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah,
ticks every
regional.
box.
Oh, there's a lot of boxes being ticked there.
And also, the favourite gets off on a
You've
wheelchair.
been an American. You've been an outspoken American.
that's
doesn't get much better.
Because we do love the Yanks, don't we? But like, what they have to understand is if they're going to keep fucking us in the face with how good they are, outwardly through, speeches and just performances generally, then like it is going to be satisfying for lesser nations, which you keep telling us is every other country, when you're defeated. That's just the trade-off that we all engage in.
Yep.
What about the men's basketball, Pezza?
Where the US wins.
Heroically. In a come-from-behind victory against Serbia, 95-91. Despite being down by 13 heading into the final quarter.
It's 15 with a couple of seconds
just before.
I'm just, trying to really show the gap. 15 points with a couple of seconds.
And
until
at one point, they were down by 17. So I win.
Have a look at that.
Steph Curry, 36 points. LeBron, triple-double, 16, 12, and 10. All looks pretty good. When you watch it, it's like, how the fuck were they down by so far? Because like it's just, there is a novelty exhibitionist element to when you're watching these guys play. You got Joel Embiid, like Duncan heavy. You got Durant coming off the bench. LeBron, Steph Curry shooting from deep, 14 points in the first quarter. I think it was him alone. It's like, how do they ever get behind? Then they just turn it on, and then it looks like they're impossible to play against.
It was a hot game, and like when they were, so even with sort of like 6-7 minutes to go in the final quarter, they were down by.
It was like 7.
Plus that,
okay.
And there was a big they had two 3-pointers that just brought it back to like 4 or 5 points, and like at that moment in time, even though the scores indicated like it was a very close game. Each of Serbia's possessions were like, heavily defended. It was difficult for them to move the ball. Nailing some it looked like some low percentage shots. And then when the US got the ball, it was just like pass, bucket at will. And it looked a bit like this is a bit too, and perhaps it's the trick of like commercialism and fame and the reputations of these guys, how much you see them or whatever, and how lionized they are. But like it looked like it almost exceeded the amateur ethos of the Olympics. Like it was like it was looking like it was a bit globetrottersy, like just how easy it was. But they do have ticker, that team. You can tell that it matters to them. They're not they don't seem to me to be guys who, I'm sure there's the armadillo egos of them are there, but like they do seem to want to do it for the nation. They are up and about, as we'd say.
I would imagine that the fear of not winning gold would actually drive them more than success in themselves. I mean,
Curry's talking shit at the free throw line by the end, like to Jokic and stuff.
Right,
it was pretty good.
I mean, Serbia were outstanding in the game. They were outstanding, and like they deserved the lead, but you just can't compete with that level of skill, I suppose. So they'll play against France, who
what a showdown that is.
Who beat Germany 73-69. Great semi-final on the other side.
Yeah,
that's a great showdown. Wemby's first Olympics.
Yeah.
People chanting his name. He hit 2 clutch free throws at the end to ice the game against Germany on that side of the draw. So here are some quotes from the players. LeBron James says, super competitive. Obviously, this is Wemby's first Olympics, but that team has been playing together for quite a while now. They've been feeding off the crowd, so we look forward to that matchup. Kevin Durant said that's going to be the most watched game, I feel like, since I've been playing in FIBA. I'm excited for it. I'm excited for that challenge, and we all are. Devin Booker said, that's what everyone wants, right? So it's going to be a fun one. It's electric in there. Their crowd has been electric even when France isn't playing against us. So I can only imagine how it's going to be Saturday. I don't know if you saw this actually last game that the US were playing. Who are they playing the quarterfinal? I can't think who they're playing. Anyway, Leon Marchand is watching the game, and the crowd starts chanting like Leon Marchand, and then like the camera goes on LeBron, and I think LeBron thinks that they're chanting LeBron, so he kind of waves, but they're actually chanting for Marchand, who is an absolute superstar there at the moment, and for good reason. Men's javelin, Pezza. Pakistan win their first individual gold medal. Arshad Naseem beat India's Neena Chopra and Grenada's Anderson Peters. His 92-meter throw was 3 meters better than silver. Also, the world record is held by a Czech bloke, and that stood for 30 years.
He had a big arm.
And it's 6 meters more than this gold medal performance. 98 meters.
Yeah.
So, couple of questions. Must have been windy. Pakistan's first ever individual gold medal. I'd imagine it would be extra sweet, given the rivalry with India there.
Are you serious? I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, mate, it's about as good as it gets, I'd imagine.
Yeah, not great for money into the Olympic movement.
No,
I would have thought.
No.
Not great for Olympic movement view counts.
Yeah.
Javelin's
actually out.
Don't forget, there's people manning that IOC YouTube who are just gutted. They're not getting their bonuses this year, and the CPM money. But if you're just looking at the medal tally, that's Pakistan's only medal this Olympics.
Yes, but it does shoot them up.
I mean, that's what's that worth?
Yeah.
Honestly, and particularly from an Indian perspective, just a guess of just a pattern I've deduced.
Yes.
It was 3 bronzes until this morning, and sitting around the sort of 69 or so mark, in and around your Tajikistans and Mongolia.
Yes.
So I think Neeraj Chopra was the great hope, being the Tokyo 2020 gold medalist, and for him to come up silver, to come up second, obviously wonderful effort, and I'm sure people in India are very proud of that effort.
Should be.
But to go on and learn that gold, and the number of countries that are in the Olympics,
there's a lot of countries
where gold could go to, that it goes to a country who has hitherto not won a medal this entire Olympics, and that country being Pakistan. That is Jay Shah's obviously taken a day off. I think.
But they did win bronze, India, in the men's hockey. They beat Spain, I think. So, just focus on that.
Well, I don't know. I'm sure we'll just see some clips of, something Dhoni said 10 years ago. I don't know. But I did see Mr. Alam, who hosts what's the Pakistan Pakistan
the pavilion
show? The pavilion.
Yeah.
Is this a pavilion?
Yeah.
Doing the dance.
Doing the Dil Pakistan.
Yeah, doing the deal with Wasim and Shoaib Malik and the boys.
Good gear.
Yeah.
Good gear. Anything else?
400 hurdles. McLaughlin Levon beat Femke Bowl. It was a big showdown. 400 hurdles, as you said this morning when I walked in. Fuck that for an event.
Yep.
Insofar as just how much it would tax one.
Femke Bowl's the Dutch woman who I think she hadn't lost in 40 races. Hadn't lost in 2 years or something like that. I think it's Sydney, the American who broke the world record, her own world record. Who also hadn't lost in a long period of time. Big showdown.
Femke Bowl sort of struggled. She finished third, but 50.37 seconds for McLaughlin Levon, world record. So
pretty good.
Femke Bowl, to be fair, had just won 4x400 mixed relay. So may have been feeling the effects of having sprinted 400 metres. But, you know, they're just a couple of little tidbits and titbits for you there.
It's not really my issue.
Yeah.
Slept like a baby last night.
Yeah. So we'll just cover that an hour 10 into this show, where a lot of people are saying that was the race of the Olympics. So. Boys, actually, he goes to finish off.
Okay.
Nick says, boys, just a simple thought exercise. I'm often captivated by the idea of athletes crossing into other sports. I can't help but imagine Victor Wembanyama opening the bowling for Australia on a bouncy day one Perth wicket. Just picture it, a 7'4" fast bowler sending down heat, and then to top it off, standing at first slip, covering the whole cordon with 2 metre granite gully, or better yet, crouched under the lid at bat pad while line fizzes a few. Interested to hear if you had any other cross sports. Love the show. Cheers. Pogo. So, no, Pogo. I just, that's...
I'd like to see him in the dressage, but as one of the horses.
Tom says, while listening to your podcast, it struck me as odd you didn't intuitively understand why the velodrome was banked. I suppose you might... I suppose you're the minority few of cricket players who weren't autistic enough to go into STEM. Boys, actually, the velodrome is banked as to allow riders to ride essentially in a straight line the entire time. You know how in a car, when you turn a corner, you get pushed to the side? Ever wonder why in a plane you never get pushed to the side in a similar fashion when the plane turns? Brackets, of course you don't. Well, it's because the car says stays flat, but the plane banks, allowing it to provide the turning force in the same vector as gravity. Same shit with the bikes. When they go around the corner, they feel a bit heavier, but don't get the shutting sideways force. I feel bad writing this. Sorry, why am I like this, Tom?
Thanks, Tom. I've learnt something.
Yep. Michael says, boys, listening to the pod in the car on the way home from work today, I was struck by your commentary vis-a-vis Olympic sports correlating to the advancement of the human race. Beautiful analogy. Later that night, I let my son, 7, watch the Olympics while I put his younger brother to bed and came out to find him watching a handball replay. The analogy didn't hold up. Shit sport with little to no redeeming qualities and seemingly even less skill. Sent him to bed early for making red light decisions. Regards. Daniel finally says... Hey boys, just a suggestion re Olympic sports being a reflection of human evolution. Since ancient warfare arts are reflected in archery, javelin, fencing, etc., my next question will be whether then, as a potential sport for LA 28 and Brisbane 32, we could include unmanned drone piloting. Just a thought. Cheers.
That is definitely something to think about as we move to the weekend.
We're going to be consistent about it.
That's right.
The US might win that.
Obama gold.
You get Obama involved. Yeah.
Thanks for joining us here in the morning after Paris. Just 2 shows to go for us here as we head into the weekend, the final weekend of the 33rd Olympiad, which is something that people... That's often
how have you enjoyed the 33rd Olympiad, I said, while I pondered the touch of a human woman that I hadn't had in 13 years.
See you guys tomorrow.